All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever looked at AI and just wondered, why does it seem to pick certain sources and totally ignore others, even when those other sources are packed with amazing info? Well, today, we are going to crack that code. And believe it or not, the answer comes from a piece of office furniture invented way back in 1898.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. It has nothing to do with how much you know or how much you've published. It's all about how easy it is for an AI to find that knowledge. And that one simple idea, that's the puzzle we're going to piece together right now.
You know, this is a huge source of frustration for so many people. You're a business or creator, you've got hundreds of articles, you have real expertise, but when somebody asks an AI a question that you've answered perfectly, you get crickets. No citation. It really does feel like you're just shouting into the void.
And this is what we can call the invisibility problem. It's this paradox where companies are pumping out more content than ever before in history, but most of it is functionally invisible to the AI systems that are quickly becoming our front door to the internet.
So here's the crucial pivot in thinking. The problem isn't storage. Your content exists, it's on the web, it's stored somewhere. The real problem is retrieval, the system that allows an AI to go in, locate your specific piece of knowledge, and pull it out at the exact right moment. And that distinction, well, it changes absolutely everything.
To really get this, we actually need to take a trip back in time. We're going to Chicago. The year is 1898, and a crisis in a single office is about to completely change how we think about information forever. Okay, so try to picture an office back then. There were no neat folders. Documents were, well, they were everywhere. Shoved in boxes, stacked in teetering piles on desks, crammed onto shelves. The information was there, but trying to find one specific contract was, and I love this phrase, an archaeological dig that could take hours, sometimes even days. Then this insurance executive, Edwin G. Sables, he actually did the math and had this shocking realization. His company was wasting a fortune not on storing information, but on finding it.
And that was the big breakthrough moment. The answer wasn't to get a bigger office or buy more shelves. No, the real solution was a system for organized retrieval. This insight, born from sheer frustration and inefficiency, led straight to the invention of the vertical filing cabinet.
And, I mean, just look at the difference. It's night and day. Before, you had this chaos where information was basically useless because you couldn't find it. And afterwards, with a simple system of drawers, dividers, and labels, retrieval became systematic and fast. The amount of paper didn't change, but its findability changed the world.
This really was the core lesson from 1898. Businesses didn't rush out to buy filing cabinets because they could hold more paper. They bought them because an organized system for finding stuff was way more valuable than just having more space to store it.
So what on earth does a dusty old filing cabinet have to do with AI today? Well, this is the aha moment, because the simple, powerful logic of that 19th century invention is the exact same logic that powers today's most advanced AI.
Think about it. The logic is identical. A human clerk opens a drawer labeled C, finds the folder for contracts, and pulls out the document. An AI scans a digital index, finds a labeled framework for a concept, and retrieves that knowledge. The AI isn't just randomly surfing the web every time you ask a question. No way. It's going to its own highly organized digital filing cabinet to find answers it has already sorted and labeled.
And that brings us to the most important term of this whole explainer, retrieval architecture. This is the deliberate design of your content. All the signals, the hierarchies, the digital labels that you build so an AI can easily find, understand, and cite your knowledge. It's about engineering findability from the ground up, not just piling up more content.
So what does this architecture actually look like? Well, think of it this way. Schema markup, that's just code on your site, acts like the labels on the outside of the filing cabinet drawers. It tells the AI, hey, this drawer contains how-to guides. Then you have things like named frameworks. These are your big ideas with specific titles. They're the labeled folders inside the drawer. And canonical definitions are like the single official document inside that folder. Finally, FAQ structures. That's your index card system, making it super easy to find answers to specific questions.
Okay, so now that we get the why, let's talk about the how. How do you actually start building for retrieval? Here's a basic blueprint for turning your content from a messy pile into a perfectly organized filing system.
First, you have to do an inventory. You gotta look at the mess you've got and be honest about its lack of structure. Then you build the architecture. This is where you organize your core ideas into those named retrievable frameworks. Step 3, you add the digital drawer labels using schema. And finally, you connect all the dots with internal links, which are basically the modern version of those old See Also cards in a library, showing the AI how all your ideas relate to one another.
Let's just double-click on this idea of a named framework for a second, because it is one of the most powerful things you can do. All it means is giving a proper noun, a specific name, to one of your core methodologies or systems. You're turning a fuzzy concept into a concrete thing that an AI can grab onto.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? An AI can't cite that blog post you wrote that one time about visibility, but it absolutely can find, retrieve, and cite something called the visibility cartography model. Giving your ideas a name is like putting a big, bold, easy-to-read label on your most important file.
So here it is, your action plan. 1. Audit your stuff. 2. Figure out your 3 to 5 core ideas and give them official names. 3. Build out those super helpful FAQ pages and add the right schema. 4. Install that schema across all your relevant content. And 5. Start building those internal links so the AI sees you have a whole interconnected system of knowledge.
All right, let's wrap this all up. If there is one single thing you take away from our little trip back to 1898, it should be this fundamental mindset shift about what we're doing when we publish content online.
For the last 20 years, the game has been about creating and storing more and more content. That era is over. The new mandate in a world run by AI is crystal clear. Retrieval beats storage every single time. A small, perfectly organized library is infinitely more valuable than a massive, chaotic warehouse.
And so that really leaves us with one final and I think pretty critical question you need to ask yourself. When you look at everything you've ever created, all your insights, your expertise, your hard work, is it just sitting there stored in some digital box on a server? Or have you built a system that allows it to be found? Is your knowledge just stored, or is it truly retrievable?